Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about a powerful morning ritual, a practice that can literally transform the trajectory of your day, your week, and your life. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't often comes down to one simple habit. The questions they ask themselves every morning. Now, I'm not talking about just any questions. I'm talking about intentional, purpose-driven questions, questions that wake your mind up and position you for victory before you even step outside your door. So here are 7 questions you should ask yourself every single morning to set the foundation for success. What is my purpose today? Your purpose fuels your passion. When you wake up with clarity on why you're doing what you do, obstacles become stepping stones. What can I do today to move closer to my goals? Don't just float through the day. Take a moment to decide what one action will push me forward. What did I learn yesterday? Every day is a lesson. If you don't extract the lesson, you lose the progress. Growth happens when you reflect and adapt. Who can I help today? True success isn't just about what you gain, but about how you serve others. When you focus on impact, blessings multiply. Am I believing in myself enough? Faith in your ability is non-negotiable. Doubt kills dreams faster than failure ever will. What distractions will I avoid today? Discipline is choosing what to focus on and what to reject. Say no to the noise, yes to your vision. How will I take care of my body and mind today? Your physical and mental health are the foundation of your productivity. Respect your temple daily. Every morning when you open your eyes, you have a choice. You can either drift into your day with no clear direction, letting the currents of life push you around, or you can stand tall, anchored by a powerful sense of purpose. The difference between these two paths is what separates those who live ordinary lives from those who create extraordinary legacies. Starting your day with purpose means waking up with intention. It's about knowing not just what you have to do, but why you have to do it. This isn't just some fluffy motivational idea. It's a fundamental truth that underpins every success story you've ever heard. When you get up in the morning, your mind is fresh, your spirit is open, and your energy is at its peak. This moment is a blank slate. It's your opportunity to set the tone for the entire day. If you begin without purpose, your day will be filled with distractions, reactive decisions, and wasted time. But if you start with purpose, everything you do becomes intentional, aligned, and impactful. Think about the great leaders, entrepreneurs, and influencers throughout history. They didn't become successful by accident. They woke up every day driven by a purpose greater than themselves. Purpose is the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. It's the reason you show up even when no one is watching, and the anchor that steadies you when storms hit. Purpose isn't something you find outside yourself. It's something you cultivate from within. It's your unique contribution to the world, your gift, your mission, your why. Without it, life becomes a series of meaningless tasks. With it, every task, no matter how small, becomes a stepping stone toward your destiny. Now, you might be asking, how do I discover my purpose? That's a great question, and the answer is more straightforward than you might think. Start by asking yourself what excites you, what problems you want to solve, and what legacy you want to leave behind. Purpose often lives at the intersection of your passion, your talents, and the needs of the world. Once you identify your purpose, the next step is to commit to it every morning. Before you get out of bed, remind yourself why you're here. Speak it out loud, write it down, let it resonate deep within your soul. When you do this consistently, you reprogram your mind to focus on what truly matters. Starting with purpose also changes how you handle challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you begin to see them as opportunities, tests that prove your commitment and sharpen your resolve. Purpose gives you resilience. It keeps you moving forward even when the path is unclear. Let me tell you something powerful. Purpose is contagious. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to find theirs. Your energy shifts from self, centered to other, centered from fear, driven to faith, driven. People will naturally gravitate toward your vision because they can sense the clarity and conviction behind it. In practical terms, starting your day with purpose means setting daily priorities that align with your bigger mission. It means saying no to distractions that pull you away and saying yes to actions that bring you closer to your goals. It means being intentional with your time, your words, and your mindset. Life is too short to live on autopilot. Every morning is a new chance to rewrite your story. When you begin with purpose, you reclaim control of your destiny. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver. So today, and every day after, make it your mission to wake up and ask yourself, what is my purpose today? Let that question guide you. Let it be the compass that directs your actions and decisions. Because when you start your day with purpose, success isn't just a possibility. It's inevitable. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. Yet, so many people overlook it, rush past it, or simply don't know how to use it effectively. When you wake up every morning and take the time to ask yourself meaningful questions, you're tapping into a source of power that can change the course of your life. Why is self-reflection so important? Because it allows you to pause, step back, and gain clarity about where you are, where you're going, and what's working versus what isn't. Without reflection, you're like a ship sailing in the fog, directionless, vulnerable to the tides and storms that come your way. But when you make reflection a habit, you're navigating with a clear map and a compass. Reflection is the process of examining your thoughts, actions, and experiences critically. It's about being honest with yourself. No sugarcoating, no excuses. This honesty is the foundation of growth. If you don't know what's holding you back, how can you overcome it? If you don't recognize what's working well, how can you build on it? Every morning offers a fresh opportunity to reflect on the previous day. Ask yourself, what did I accomplish? What challenges did I face? How did I respond to those challenges? What could I have done differently? These questions aren't meant to make you feel bad or discouraged. They're designed to make you aware, to highlight areas for improvement, and to celebrate progress. Self-reflection also strengthens your decision-making skills. When you take the time to review your choices regularly, you start to see patterns. You notice where you've been successful and where you've made mistakes. This awareness helps you make smarter decisions moving forward. It's like having a personal coach inside your mind, guiding you toward better habits and strategies. Self-reflection fuels your emotional intelligence. Understanding your own emotions, triggers, and reactions allows you to manage them better. When you reflect, you're not just analyzing actions. You're tuning into your feelings and motivations. This deeper awareness helps you respond to situations with calmness and wisdom rather than reacting impulsively. Another key benefit is that reflection builds confidence. When you regularly review your progress, you begin to see how far you've come. This awareness boosts your belief in your abilities and motivates you to keep pushing forward. Confidence isn't born from always succeeding. It's born from learning, adapting, and persisting despite setbacks. It's important to approach self-reflection with a growth mindset. This means seeing mistakes not as failures, but as lessons. Every setback is an opportunity to learn something valuable. When you ask yourself questions in the morning, do so with curiosity, not judgment. Be gentle but honest. This balance creates an environment where you can grow without fear. To make self-reflection effective, create a simple morning ritual. Spend 5 to 10 minutes each day reviewing your previous day and setting intentions for the new one. You can journal your thoughts, speak them aloud, or simply meditate on them. The key is consistency. Reflection is like exercise. The more you do it, the stronger and more natural it becomes. Self-reflection is the secret weapon of successful people. It's what separates those who learn and evolve from those who stay stuck in the same patterns. When you commit to this practice every morning, you give yourself the gift of clarity, growth, and empowerment. So I encourage you to start asking yourself these powerful questions daily. Use self-reflection as your tool to sharpen your focus, improve your decisions, and fuel your progress. Remember, knowledge without application is wasted. The power of reflection lies not just in thinking, but in acting on what you learn. When you harness this power, you're not just living, you're leading. You're not just moving forward, you're moving upward toward your highest potential. And it all begins with a simple habit, the intentional, honest, and consistent act of self-reflection every morning. Growth is the heartbeat of success. Without growth, there is stagnation. Without progress, there is frustration. When you wake up each morning, one of the most important questions you can ask yourself is, how will I grow today? Because focusing on growth is what separates those who merely exist from those who thrive. Many people live their lives on autopilot, going through the motions without pushing themselves to improve. They settle for comfort zones and avoid challenges. But growth never happens in comfort. Growth requires effort, sacrifice, and sometimes discomfort. It requires a mindset that's hungry to learn, hungry to evolve, and hungry to become better than yesterday. Growth is not just about acquiring new skills or knowledge. It's also about expanding your mindset. It's about changing the way you see yourself and your possibilities. When you wake up every day focusing on growth, you begin to challenge limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering truths. This focus on growth must be intentional. It's not enough to say, I want to improve. You have to be deliberate about how you grow. That means setting specific goals that stretch you, seeking out opportunities to learn, and surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. When you make growth your priority, you start to view setbacks differently. Instead of seeing failure as the end of the road, you see it as feedback, a chance to adjust your approach and come back stronger. Every obstacle becomes a lesson, every mistake becomes a teacher, and every challenge becomes a stepping stone. One of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is the habit of daily growth. This means dedicating time each day to learn something new, practice a skill, or reflect on ways to improve. It could be reading a chapter of a book, listening to a podcast, attending a workshop, or simply reflecting on what worked and what didn't. Growth also involves taking risks. Staying safe might feel comfortable, but it keeps you small. Growth demands that you step outside your comfort zone, face your fears, and take action even when you're unsure. This courage to act despite uncertainty is what propels you forward. An important aspect of focusing on growth is celebrating progress, not just results. Sometimes growth is invisible at first. You might not see immediate success, but every small step you take adds up. When you acknowledge these small wins, you build momentum and reinforce the habit of continuous improvement. Growth is a lifelong journey, not a destination. No matter how successful you become, there is always room to learn, adapt, and elevate. When you focus on growth, you develop resilience and flexibility, which are essential for navigating the ups and downs of life. To cultivate this growth mindset every morning, start by asking yourself powerful questions like, what did I learn yesterday? What skills can I improve today? What new challenges can I take on? These questions keep your mind focused on expansion and improvement. Growth is a choice. You can choose to remain where you are, or you can choose to push beyond your limits. The difference between these choices is what shapes your future. When you commit to growth every morning, you invest in yourself. the most valuable asset you have. Success is not just about what you achieve, but who you become. When you focus on growth, you're not just building skills or accumulating knowledge. You're building character, confidence, and capability. So make growth your daily mission. Wake up with the determination to be better, wiser, and stronger than the day before. Push yourself to learn, to stretch, and to rise above your current limitations. Faith and persistence are two of the most powerful forces that drive success. They are the invisible engines that keep you moving forward when the path is tough. The obstacles seem insurmountable, and the results you desire feel far away. Every morning, as you prepare to face your day, asking yourself whether you have faith and persistence is critical to achieving your dreams. Faith is more than just belief. It is unwavering trust in your vision, your purpose, and your ability to overcome challenges. It's the conviction that what you are working toward is possible, even when the evidence says otherwise. Faith is the light that guides you through the darkest moments, the anchor that keeps you grounded when doubts threaten to pull you under. Many people give up because they lose faith. They start strong, but when the first failures or setbacks come, they question their worth, their goals, and even their dreams. The truth is, setbacks are part of the journey, not a signal to quit. Faith reminds you that every setback is temporary and that persistence will eventually lead to breakthrough. Persistence is faith in action. It's the daily commitment to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's doing the work when motivation fades, showing up when the results aren't immediate, and pushing past the fear of failure. Persistence is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who only dream about it. When you combine faith and persistence, you create unstoppable momentum. Faith fuels your belief that the goal is attainable, while persistence ensures you keep taking steps toward it. This combination allows you to endure hardships and maintain focus, even when the journey is long and difficult. It's important to understand that faith doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. Rather, faith means recognizing the obstacles but choosing to believe in a higher outcome anyway. It's about focusing on the possibilities instead of the problems. Persistence, on the other hand, requires discipline and resilience. It means developing habits that keep you on track, such as daily goal setting, time management, and continuous learning. Persistence means refusing to be discouraged by temporary failures and instead using them as lessons that propel you forward. Many successful people credit their achievements not to talent or luck alone, but to their ability to persist through adversity while holding onto faith. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10 zero ways that won't work." That's faith and persistence in action. Another powerful example is the story of J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before finally publishing the Harry Potter series. She had faith in her story and persisted despite the setbacks. Her persistence created a legacy that inspires millions. In your own life, faith and persistence will manifest as small daily choices. Choosing to get up early to work on your goals, deciding to learn from criticism rather than be discouraged by it, and keeping your eyes on the prize when distractions try to pull you away. To cultivate faith and persistence, begin your morning by affirming your belief in your purpose. Remind yourself why you started and visualize the success you desire. Then, commit to taking consistent action, no matter how small. Persistence is built one step at a time. When you wake up asking yourself, "Do I have the faith to keep going? And am I persistent enough to outlast the challenge?" you're setting yourself up for victory. You're aligning your mindset with the principles that have propelled every great achiever before you. Persistence breaks down barriers that talent alone cannot. Faith provides the vision when the path seems invisible. Together, they empower you to create the life you want, So as you begin each day, fuel your spirit with faith and drive your actions with persistence. Make these your daily allies, because when faith and persistence walk hand in hand, nothing can stop you from reaching your highest potential. Having knowledge or insight is one thing, turning that insight into action is another. One of the biggest reasons many people fail to reach their potential is because they collect information but don't act on it. Actionable insight is about making your thoughts, ideas, and reflections practical, about transforming knowledge into deliberate steps that move you closer to your goals every day. Every morning is a new opportunity to gain insight, but the real power comes when you use that insight to take purposeful action. Insight alone without action is like having a map, but never deciding to start the journey. The greatest breakthroughs in life don't happen by accident. They come from consistent, intentional efforts fueled by clear, actionable insight. When you ask yourself questions in the morning, the goal is not just to think, but to come away with clarity about what you need to do next. It's about pinpointing what matters most and then committing to a plan that leads to results. Actionable insight gives you a framework, a game plan for your day, your week, and your life. This means when you reflect on your goals, your habits, or your mindset, you should be able to answer the question, what specific action will I take today based on what I've learned? For example, if you realize procrastination is holding you back, the actionable insight might be to set a timer for focused work sessions or to eliminate distractions for an hour each morning. Actionable insight requires discipline and honesty. It means not making excuses or waiting for the perfect moment. It means being accountable to yourself and recognizing that progress is made by those who do, not just those who think or plan. It's about turning your aha moments into real, measurable progress. Another important part of actionable insight is prioritization. You can have many insights, but you need to focus on the most impactful actions first. Learning to identify the vital few. Tasks that yield the highest return on your energy and time is a skill that will drastically improve your effectiveness. Actionable insight also demands adaptability. As you take action, you will gain new information, encounter obstacles, and discover what works and what doesn't. The key is to stay flexible, keep learning, and adjust your approach based on real-world feedback. This cycle of action, reflection, and adjustment leads to continuous improvement. When you harness actionable insight each morning, you're no longer reactive, you're proactive. You decide your day with intention rather than letting external circumstances dictate your results. You own your outcomes because you have a clear plan and the discipline to follow through. In the business world, Myron Golden often emphasizes the importance of sales and marketing as actionable insights. You can study all the strategies, but if you don't pick up the phone, make the call, or present your offer, nothing changes. Similarly, in life, insight must lead to action to create transformation. Actionable insight is also empowering because it shifts your mindset from "I hope this works" to "I know this will work because I'm committed to taking the right steps." This confidence fuels momentum and attracts opportunities because action breeds progress, and progress breeds results. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions or for all the answers to start moving forward. Every small action counts. Every deliberate step is a building block. When you take what you've learned and apply it immediately, you create a cycle of success that compounds over time. So, tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't just ask yourself questions to ponder, ask yourself questions that lead to decisions and commitments. Decide what action you will take today that aligns with your highest priorities and biggest goals. Insight without action is wasted potential. Actionable insight is the bridge between dreams and reality. It turns knowledge into results and ideas into impact. Make it your mission each morning to not only understand your next move, but to execute it with purpose and persistence. Because when you do, you transform your life from possibility into achievement. As we bring this message to a close, I want you to understand this. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who prepare, those who ask the right questions, and those who take intentional action every single day. The 7 questions we've explored today are not just words. They are the keys to unlocking your potential and stepping into the life you were created to live. Starting your day with purpose anchors you. Self-reflection sharpens your awareness and guides your growth. Focusing on growth keeps you moving forward. Faith and persistence give you the strength to overcome obstacles, and actionable insight transforms your thinking into results. But none of this works unless you make it a habit, unless you commit to waking up every morning and asking yourself these questions with honesty, intention, and resolve. When you do, you move from aimlessness to direction, from confusion to clarity, and from hesitation to unstoppable momentum. Greatness is not an accident. It's a choice. It's a daily decision to align your thoughts, your mindset, and your actions with your highest purpose. It's about owning your mornings so you can own your life. So, I challenge you to make these 7 questions your morning ritual. Write them down. Speak them out loud. Let them fuel your passion and focus. Because when you start your day by asking the right questions, you set the stage for extraordinary success. Own your mornings, own your purpose, own your future. Thank you.